Hey guys, we are going to be moving away from the 5 paragraph essays we've been working on and starting to focus a little on some business writing. A lot of the skills you learned for essays will carry over, but we're going to be working for about the next month on business writing prompts. So writing for business, you're still going to be given a prompt just like for the essays. It's going to tell you what your job is. So you're always going to have a job somewhere in the prompt, and it's usually going to ask you to write a letter, and it's going to give you a purpose for writing the letter and a person you're writing to. So what's different from the essay? Well, you're going to write it in letter format. So you're going to start with a salutation, dear whoever the letter is supposed to be to, and you're going to end it with sincerely and your name and your job title. It'll be shorter. You're not going to have as many body paragraphs, and you're going to be explicitly told who you are and who you are writing to. Here's a sample prompt that we're going to be working through. You are a production associate in an automotive factory. The company has considered implementing a new safety rule which would ban the use of cell phones within the plant. Write a letter to your line manager explaining whether or not you believe this safety rule should be implemented and why. So if we kind of look through this for the key elements, we're looking first for who are we. So we're a production associate. So we're working in a automotive factory, so a place where they make cars. Then I'm looking for what it is I'm writing about, and I've highlighted that here in purple. The company has considered implementing a new safety rule which would ban the use of cell phones within the plant. Okay, who are we writing this letter to? I've highlighted in green. We're writing to our line manager, so the person who kind of manages everybody who's working on the line making cars. And then this is what we're writing about, highlighted in blue. Explaining whether or not you believe this safety rule should be implemented and why. Which safety rule? This one. Whether they're going to implement a new safety rule which is going to ban, so not allow, the use of cell phones within the plant. So if you're in the plant, the place where they make the cars, you're not going to be able to be using your cell phone while you're actually building the cars. So you have to choose sides. Are you in favor of this rule? You think they should ban cell phones while people are working on cars? Or are you against the rule? Do you think people should have access to their cell phones wherever? So we're going to work through this one together before you work on one on your own. So I've gone ahead and typed up, here we are again, and I've highlighted looking for my key elements. I am a production associate. The company is thinking about this new rule where they would ban the use of cell phones within the plant. I'm going to write a letter to my line manager, so kind of my boss, kind of trying to convince him of one way or the other. So for the purposes of this letter, I chose to say that they should implement the new policy. So here we go. So my writing is over here on the left-hand side, and then I have a little guide on the right-hand side. You would obviously not have to type up this on the right-hand side. You're just writing the letter. So because it's a letter, we're always going to start with dear and then whoever it's supposed to be to. So dear line manager, because we know we're writing a letter to our line manager. Your introduction, so our first paragraph, is going to summarize the prompt to state the reason for your letter and give your opinion or thesis. So it's going to give us that background, and then you're going to give your opinion. So whether or not you believe the safety rule should be implemented and why. So my first paragraph reads, I am writing to express my support for the new cell phone ban at the plant. Although many of my coworkers will find it frustrating or inconvenient to give up their cell phones while working, I think the ban is needed to increase safety and productivity. So here's my thesis, and it gives, just like a little hint about what the body paragraphs are going to be about. So I'm going to have 2 body paragraphs, and one is going to focus on safety, and one is going to focus on productivity. So for body paragraphs, this should feel really familiar to you from essays. You're going to begin each body paragraph with a topic sentence, and I've highlighted that in yellow, that supports your thesis. Then support the topic sentence with specific examples. So my first one, which we know is going to focus on safety, reads, cell phones are a distraction and should be banned from the production line because they threaten the safety of workers. That's my topic sentence. That's what all of this paragraph is going to be about. Personally, I love to check messages during the day because it helps me stay in touch with important matters outside of work. I try to only check messages during my break. However, when I get an alert from my phone, it distracts me from the task at hand. My job assembling engines requires a high level of concentration. If I get distracted even for a moment, I could make a mistake that results in an accident. This jeopardizes the safety of everyone on the line. You see how I kind of explain out a scenario and give a concrete answer? Okay, the next one, this is going to be about productivity. I've highlighted my topic sentence in yellow. In addition to posing a safety risk, cell phones also cause workers to work less efficiently. The 10 seconds it takes to check and respond to a text is 10 seconds that could be used to work. Because we work on a production line, this time loss is compounded. There is nothing more frustrating than having to wait on someone up the line who works too slowly. It's better for our work environment if we remove the distraction by leaving our phones in our lockers. So you'll notice there are only 2 body paragraphs rather than 3. Conclusion. In your conclusion, you're going to restate your thesis and summarize your main arguments. Thank the person for reading your letter. I know there will be some pushback against this new policy because it will be hard for people to give up the convenience of phones. However, it is the right thing to do for the safety of our workers and the productivity of the plant. Thank you for considering my thoughts. Then you're going to have a closing. You need to end with sincerely, and then you put your name and your job title. The title can be found in the prompt, remember? Production associate. So I write, sincerely, Claire Davis, production associate. So sincerely, comma, and then name, and then on the line underneath it, you put your job title. So just to review, we start with a salutation. We have an introduction paragraph where we state our position and then also give some background on the topic. We do a little bit of a preview about what the 2 issues are going to be, in this case, safety and productivity. We have 2 body paragraphs that each start with a topic sentence and then give concrete examples as to why, to back up those examples. Then we have that conclusion that kind of summarizes everything up, and then we end with a closing. So for your activity today, your prompt is going to be this. You work at a local pizza restaurant that has always provided dine-in or carry-out service. The store manager has been pursuing ideas that would help increase sales. One suggestion is to provide home delivery. Write a letter to the manager explaining whether or not you believe the restaurant should offer this service and why. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look for, remember, in orange, we're going to look for, up here it was production associate. We are going to look for what is the job title down here. So work at a local pizza restaurant. Oh, I should do the highlight color actually. There we go, work at a local pizza restaurant. The next thing we're looking for is what the background is. So this one has always provided dine-in or carry-out service. So people can either come in and eat or they can come get carry-out. There's some background. One suggestion is to provide home delivery to increase sales. So this, I'm kind of dividing this into 2 just to highlight what the important words are. So we're going to write, who are we writing the letter to is the next one. Up here it was a line manager. Write a letter to the manager, so it's going to be the manager of the restaurant, explaining whether or not you believe the restaurant should offer this service and why. So that's the question. And by this service, we mean if they should start doing home delivery. So you work in a pizza restaurant. The pizza restaurant has always been that the customers come to you and they either eat there or they carry out. The manager is considering doing home delivery, where you guys actually get in a car and deliver the pizzas to people's houses. So you're going to decide if you think they should offer this service and why. So remember that you are going to start with a salutation. Then you're going to have an introduction where you give background and your thesis. Oops, misspelled that. You're going to have body paragraphs that start with a topic sentence. And then you're going to have a conclusion. And you are going to sign off at the end. This is just a rough draft for us to get an idea where you are with business writing. A lot of the skills we worked on with essays should carry over though. Let us email us if you have any questions. Thank you.